Hi, I'm Mitra Sorrells in the PhocusWire studio, and today I'm joined by Tobias Wann, CEO of OYO Vacation Homes. Welcome.
Hi,
Thanks
Mitra.
for taking some time to talk to us. So that's a title you've had since May when
Correct.
OYO bought At Leisure. Tell me a little bit about what's developed in the last 6 months. What have been some of the biggest changes?
Basically, we've been doing some great things even before the acquisition, and what happened since then, it's been a great time because we had such firepower now that's been added. So fuel to the fire that helps us to kind of do more things in parallel, have more resources, be faster, take more risks. So basically that.
Okay, so when you talk about firepower, there's a very large investment announced in August.
Correct.
$335 million US, I believe.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that and what some of the priorities are with that funding.
So basically, pretty much a couple months into the acquisition, we realized that the market opportunity is so much bigger, and it's also becoming vacation homes. Homes is becoming so much more strategic for OYO that we actually decided to go full in and take that money and deploy it towards basically our growth plans. If you look at the market numbers, it's PhocusWire research numbers. There's about 24 million vacation homes in Europe. 10 million are probably not addressable. That leaves us with a market of 14 million.
Okay.
And the largest player probably has, on the managed side, has about 50,000 units. So it tells you how much opportunity we have in front of us. So we take that money and we invest it in people, in resources, and basically just double down on that growth plan.
So let's talk about a few of those things. So I found a figure of 46,000 homeowners. Is that still current, or is it what's the current?
Basically what OYO Vacation Homes has two different sides of the business. There's the managed homes business, right? That we run under the brands of Belvilla and Dance Center and now OYO Homes.
Okay.
And this is, in this side of the business, we have about 40,000 homes, right? And then we have a brand called Traumferienwohnung. That's a German company, and that is a marketplace pretty similar to what HomeAway back then was, or Airbnb. And under this, we have about 90,000 homes under management.
Okay. And so as you think about those priorities then, is it both to grow those businesses as well as to expand geographically, or
Yes.
what's the balance there?
So basically, we definitely want to grow both businesses, and there is room for a lot of growth on both sides. We want to enter new markets. We actually launching in the US as we speak with under the OYO Homes brand. And then, as I said, we want to also take some of the money and further invest it into technology and some of the things that we've already been starting doing.
So let's talk a little bit then about launching in the US. There's a lot of competition here in that space. How do you tackle that? Particularly when I think, at least here, certainly the OYO name is not very well known. How do you deal with that branding and marketing?
I think the story is very similar to Europe. The US market on vacation homes is a bit smaller than in Europe. I think that number, 24 million I just mentioned, is probably more like 9 million is the equivalent in the US, right? But that tells you, if you look at Vacasa, for example, they are probably the largest now on the managed home side. They have 23,000 homes, right? And then there's a couple others who are fairly small compared to that. So I do believe, obviously, that with OYO we have a fantastic product that we can now also bring to the US, and with this market will actually have enough for all of us, I'm pretty sure.
And regarding increasing your staff, I saw an announcement that you're planning to hire about 1,000 people in the next year, which will more than double the current staff, I believe, correct? That's a big ramp up all at once, right?
It is, and to be honest, it's probably a bit on the conservative side. We didn't want to kind of brag about it, but we knew actually it would be 1,000. We have hired about 300 already in the last couple months, and we'll bring on definitely another 700 probably over the next 12 to 15 months, right? And these are people throughout all departments with throughout all kind of skills you would need. A lot of them will be salespeople because literally we want to go after this market opportunity, but we have also hired basically people in all other departments.
So I'm curious, what's been maybe the most interesting thing for you or the most eye-opening thing being a part of OYO? I mean, we saw Ritesh on the stage
Yeah.
here, super fast growth and ambitions. I mean,
Yes.
are there challenges there, benefits there? What is that like?
So, I mean, first of all, Ritesh is an impressive person. I mean, we probably all took this away from his appearance on stage yesterday. He has great ambitions, and he is actually making them happen as we speak, right? I mean, this company has grown tremendously over the last 6 years now. And we, as OYO Vacation Homes now, obviously learning the ropes in such a high growth business and approach basically that he brings also to us, right? So for us, it's an amazing opportunity to do things that we always wanted to do and probably couldn't because we didn't have the funds or maybe had some more muted plans with the old shareholders. And now we can actually double down and do something that we've all been believing in because this business is a great business, it's a growth business. And as we just said, I mean, we just have a lot of opportunities ahead of us. With this growth, obviously, comes challenges, but I think it's nothing that cannot be managed, and we'll fix those problems as we come along.
Getting back to the push into the U.S., you talked a bit about investing people and effort into getting that supply. Talk just a little bit on that topic of then getting the customers, getting the travelers to choose an OYO vacation home. How do you handle that marketing? We hear about the issues with Google and the Google squeeze.
Yeah. I mean, I think we just look at how we do it in Europe, right? It will be a very similar approach, right? In our business, we are pretty much agnostic about the channel, the demand channel, the guest channel, right? We have an own website, we have own brands, specifically in Europe, like very established brands. And then we are using distribution partners, OTAs, like Airbnb, like Booking, like Expedia, like basically a couple hundred other like websites where we're distributing our product. And we're doing a similar approach in the US. I mean, if you look at the current players that are already in the market, they do it very similarly. None of them has a very established brand, right? I mean, and still they're very successful because they're basically piggybacking on the great work the OTAs are doing.
Okay, so one of the topics that's gotten a lot of attention, certainly here in the U.S. in the last few weeks, because of that very tragic situation in California with Airbnb, has been the topic of safety and security.
Yes.
I'm wondering your thoughts on that as it relates to the vacation rental business.
Look, I mean, it is a very tragic event, and then I think Airbnb is now trying to kind of, master the consequences. And I think one of the things they have announced is that they're going to basically vet every of the every of the homes they have on their platform. In the approach we have, the managed vacation rental space, I mean, that would happen naturally. That's something we always do. We are not a platform where you basically upload your home and then then it's there and no one would actually ever control that, right? I mean, if you have a home that you want to basically distribute via OYO, we would visit you, we would look at it, we would sit with you, we would negotiate with you, we would want to understand what is important to you, we would write up the descriptions, we take the photos, we set the prices together with the homeowner, right? So there is this vetting process that is Airbnb is now trying to basically install, which is a huge undertaking, right, for this amount of supply at this point in time. It's something that has always been in our DNA.
And what about, I know there are some of the property management companies that even use technology to help with some of that, like maybe a decibel monitoring type of devices to, is that something that potentially would?
Absolutely. I mean, the great thing about OYO is that OYO definitely considers itself as a technology company, and it's true, right? I mean, we do invest a lot of money in those capabilities. I mean, we have amazing tech talent that is setting up the product for us, writing the code for us, right? And if there's something that we can solve with tech, we would always want to do that. At the core, we're a hospitality company, right? I always say this is important to me, right? But tech can help scale, but tech should not actually replace hospitality and cannot replace hospitality.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I'm wondering, you said you come here to the Phocuswright Conference very regularly. So if I see you next year, what might we be talking about in relation to OYO vacation homes?
You'd probably ask me that, or congratulate me for being the market leader on a global level, because that is certainly our ambition, and we have all the rights to believe that we can actually celebrate that next year.
Okay, we'll have that on tape, so we'll see what happens with that.
I have to deliver.
All right, Tobias, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.